Mit der komplett neu entwickelten Top-Baureihe Fendt Vario 1000.
With the completely redesigned top-of-the-range Fendt Vario 1000 series, Fendt broke into the 500 horsepower class for the first time. The then Fendt CEO Peter Josef Paffen came up with something special for the location of the first presentation. It was to take place in the world-famous Neuschwanstein Castle near Füssen, and it was indeed presented in the castle's courtyard in front of the international press. Robert, what was the idea behind developing a standard tractor that actually exceeds 500 horsepower?
From a development perspective, this was naturally a fantastic project, a major undertaking, and a significant challenge in its fundamental definition. We essentially started from scratch to develop such a large tractor, as there had previously been no standard tractor in this class. First of all, we had to decide on an engine. We chose the MAN engine to deliver the power. We developed a new transmission accordingly, the second generation of Fendt Vario with variable all-wheel drive without step shifting. We redesigned the entire chassis and revamped the cab, giving it a complete facelift with new electronics and new features. We also added a new dual-circuit hydraulic system that delivers significantly more power for attachments than previous systems. We had to develop new large tires with a diameter of 2.35 meters. So really, all of the dimensions and elements had to be redesigned from scratch. These were major challenges, and of course they were accompanied by discussions about whether 500 horsepower on a standard tractor still makes sense, whether the power is transferred to the ground, or whether it's all inefficient. Of course, answers had to be found for these questions as well, with appropriate additional systems such as tire pressure control, traction assist, and appropriate wheel weights and ballast at the front and rear. So the whole package was really redesigned to get this great machine up and running efficiently overall.
During the development phase, what were the real challenges? Where were the problems?
One challenge we faced as a result of market expansion was providing new features specifically for the North American market. For example, the 60-inch track width in North America requires very narrow tire tracks in order to be able to drive between the crop rows. We wanted to implement this for the first time in order to really gain a foothold there. But of course, we faced the challenge of having to design the tractor to be narrow enough and the cabin to be narrow enough in its inner fenders to accommodate this 60-inch track with its twin tires. We succeeded, and since then we have been doing really well in North America and now also in South America.
Internationally, of course, because you have to establish a vehicle like this on the international markets. Where has this been particularly successful, and who is the customer?
The customers are, of course, large companies that, unlike in Germany or even in Europe, operate on huge areas of land. So, of course, you have to strike a balance with a new development like this. Between the European applications, which are simply our core market, and the large areas in North and South America, we have to provide the appropriate features everywhere. The agility and variability we offer, but also the area coverage that other continents need. The balancing act was really a challenge.
What happened next after the initial presentation in Neuschwanstein in 2014?
Yes, presenting the vehicle in Neuschwanstein was of course the highlight. We then attended AGRITECHNICA in 2015, which is also a big show, of course, and received the corresponding awards: Machine of the Year, Tractor of the Year, 2016, and silver medals for the new Vario transmission. So we were able to celebrate some really great successes with this vehicle. Of course, the reputation we gained in the market, including from our competitors, was really great. In that respect, AGRITECHNICA 2015 with this vehicle was truly a highlight.
And in the years that followed, sales figures developed as expected, and the vehicle is now firmly established in the range.
That's right. Very, very positive. We have found our customers, our enthusiasts, our users for this vehicle. We have been very successful with the vehicle on the market for 10 years and have, of course, continued to develop it over the next generations. I think the vehicle has its place and will probably be attacked by competitors in the future. Developing an agile tractor with good visibility that can be used for a wide range of applications. We therefore had to ensure that the entire cooling system, which has to cool this 500 horsepower engine, was not too large. Here too, we introduced a completely new concept, a hydrostatically driven fan that no longer sucks but is placed on the front and really pushes the air through the cooling system like a turbine, so that the entire size remains in a small format that truly corresponds to an agile Fendt tractor.
New technologies from front to back. And another special feature at AGRITECHNICA was the new 1050 Vario with a new Fendt Green. What's that all about?
That's right. We ventured into new territory there too. Of course, there was also a discussion here about whether we should stick with the old Fendt Green that has been available on the market for many years, or whether we should go for a new green, a fresher green, a brighter green. And we then dared to introduce this new green as an option for the 1000 series at AGRITECHNICA in order to gather market feedback. But the response was so positive that we decided to convert the 1000 series and all other series to this new color. Today, the new nature green, as we call it, is well established, and I think it's here to stay. So I believe that was also a great success.